Nobody fall in.
Fun in the summertime.
Nobody fall in like that.
You guys depressed kids there.
What?
Oh, if you roast the mallow just right, it'll get flammable.
I'm cooking this like golden brown.
Yeah!
Larry Bird.
Oh, right here. Let me roast it live, baby.
I was like Allison.
Larry.
Oh,
Mike.
Yep, Larry Bird. Oh, you know what? I've got 24 dB. You want to see it?
I'm married to.
Are they yours or mine? That's cool the way their fire is reflected. I don't know if that's a reflection.
I think it's a
or the
light.
real thing.
Oh,
Guys,
there.
we don't have lunch with Catherine. How depressing is it? We're going to do this first. We do.
That looks like a spotlight going all the way across the lake, doesn't it?
You know, Chris, did I tell you Aunt Carol's having a reunion?
I saw the tents
Yeah.
at their house. Are those her kids?
Her kids, yeah. And their kids. Like her, well, I don't know. So you guys have.
Oh, wow.
Somewhere. She's
Don't
right
pay
there
any
with the
attention to what we're doing,
bending
okay?
over. That's my wife.
Is that it for scary story?
The majority
No,
of
it's not the news. We're making a movie.
We're
making
Can I be interviewed before I leave?
We might be interviewed, but what we want you to do is not even, these are kids at a campfire hearing a scary story. So,
Are we going to be around the...
no, we might have to come over and get a
You guys, let's like sit in a circle over there. That seems scary.
Come on, let's do it. That's so good. We're making a movie. This scene, it's kids at a campfire hearing a scary story. That was several board members to get this done.
Oh my gosh,
Is that somebody sticking to it? Is that sticking to it?
mine's already
No,
done.
I
It's
just
very
got
yummy.
pinched in there.
I think
Oh, I'm burning my hand. Look how pretty that is.
I don't have none.
Oh, God.
I just used two though.
Look at the tip of mine.
That's how I like them, right like that. You know, brown.
Oh, me too. Like the tips. Oh, I'm sorry. Oops, sorry.
And I'm working with.
Molly, look at that.
Doing it right now.
That's pretty. It's all brown at the top.
Hey, do you want to?
But and you see it like on the center though.
Did you do 2 or 4? 2. I did 4.
Oh, 4 cookies?
Okay.
And you're gonna walk around. As I told some of you guys, we didn't want to tell you all this ahead of time.
Betsy and Haley aren't here.
There's no beginning or end. Believe me, if you.
I'm sipping your beer. Yeah, get that in the video.
First, hey. First, Allie, I get it after you.
Okay. As I
No,
mentioned,
I got my bracelet for it.
as I mentioned to some of you before, I didn't want to say anything in the beginning because I didn't want you to dress up or put makeup on or I wanted you to.
I didn't bring any.
I didn't do it anyways. Anyway, this is a.
Am I allowed to put on a pair of pants?
You can do anything you want. This is basically.
Is this going to be a produce?
Betsy and Haley, I think you're down
Yeah,
there.
I'm doing it, but we already have some.
Is it going to be out in the movie theaters or something?
You never know. That's the big hope. Maybe not. It might just go directly to cable. So.
Or video.
Yeah.
Right? Or video
Well,
too.
for sure it'll go to video, but if we can go
Find
to
them
cable
out.
first.
So I could like buy it in my own movie, like
God,
starring Allie.
Maybe.
That's fair, faucet.
Molly, did you find them?
Anyway,
Watch me like make a porn. Look at these ugly girls.
Like they hire all these people to come and scare us.
okay, you guys. So what I want you to do, I'll pretend the camera's not even here, and we're here.
It's gonna be like a
Open marshmallows.
Maybe like in a theater.
What are we pretending to do?
Oh my god, I look so bad.
I'll pretend.
Oh my god, I look so bad. I'm like everyone
We need to get this filmed though, so you really do just act normal. Like listen to Kay, she's a director.
Have you ever seen a scary movie that starts off real quietly with a little bit of haunting music, and then you see individual close-ups of the different girls at the campfire?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the kind of theme that we're looking for here. We're looking for an intense,
I look so bad.
scary.
I'm so depressed. I'm trying to fix my hair. I'm like, no, I'm just not gonna. Wait, is it gonna be on cable or?
Now, if Mike walks around, where's my beer?
Wait, where's this?
If this is Mike,
Allie.
if he walks
Allie.
around and gets close in on your face, don't look into the camera. Keep looking at me. I'm the storyteller. they're not going to hear what I'm saying now. We're going to pump in a different scary story, okay? They're not going to hear the words I'm saying. What we want is your expression. Looking at me as if you're totally... Now, Betty, let's imagine we have like a scary music theme or something going on.
Okay.
What?
Where are they going to show the movie?
It's not like a blaring.
The way this works is you don't know everything right off the bat in the beginning. You just know a few things. We've already got some people, if you will, in Hollywood interested in our project.
Wait, it's like in the theaters? I'll be in it.
If it makes it to the big screen, we'll be lucky. But look at Blair Witch
Wait, I was
Hunt.
like, watch this movie.
We have to listen to the director because
So this
Okay.
is like Blair Witch.
No, it's not like Blair Witch Hunt.
Well, oh my God, it's in my eyes.
If I were asking you guys, and I don't want you all to answer at once, Molly, give me an idea for a scary movie. What would be a scary movie if you were telling the story?
You find out there's no more money on your credit card.
I got one.
Like a witch or something that goes around like killing everybody. And like they have to cast a spell on her.
Like,
to, like
you have the least suspected person.
yeah, the least suspected person is the witch, and they have to cast a spell to get the witch to stop. And they
So,
don't
like,
know who the witch is.
Adrian would be the killer.
Adrian, who's Adrian?
I'm picturing.
Adrian would be the killer.
Like, no one would say that.
Wait, I don't get it. Yeah, like the least expected person would be the killer.
Okay.
Not everyone's saying.
All right, Haley,
Expect like Adrian.
if you had to tell us, if you had to give us an idea for a scary movie, what do you think would scare girls who are about to be freshmen in high school?
Looking in the mirror. Them walking like down the street. You know,
No.
and like a rapist.
Sharks.
A rapist. Girls are mostly a rapist.
Like a gang
I'm like rapist.
Or like a child molester or something.
yeah, child molester. Like your teacher, like coming on you.
All right, everybody listen. Don't look at the camera, because if you look into the camera, it's not going to work. What I want is true, and Donna's going to be watching this, I want some good expressions. I have wanted all my life to direct a scary movie, all my life, to the point where I'm just going crazy. I've got to do it, and I need good acting! Oh my God! Oh my God!
How much blood do you have on the No, that's like, I'm not joking. She's like upstairs like,
Remember when we all
Okay, we do have another story going
like,
on.
why are you laughing? This isn't a joke. Oh, wow. I'm like really loud and like screaming. Oh, wow. That's like, okay, that'll be on the movie. Okay. Whoa, that was amazing.
going on?
Don't know how I feel about that.
kind of been down a little bit more.
Tell these guys what's going on at the zoo.
It's almost like a scary movie.
Also, this music like turns on straight away. It was really random.
It's like a scary movie.
Oh my God, where's it coming from?
No,
Yes! What is going on at the zoo?
the You're old enough. Do you guys know what? Okay.
I'm old enough to just call it. You guys might cry. Harry on the cry.
Remember Lady Lake? It's really upset. Well, all right, Kay, go ahead.
Freaked out.
Everyone's crying. Lady Lake,
Mary, you
that's
and
one
me
I
like going
Hey,
we were legit crying.
So it was last fall, and I was working for Mr. Davidson for the Arctic Adventure. I was volunteering there at the time, and we were really excited because we got a group of wolves in. And one of the wolves, we called her Sheba, because she was pregnant. So we were so excited we were going to have pups born at the zoo. And as the typical course for veterinarian zoologists, they take sonograms and x-rays and things like that to make sure that the animal is in good health.
do you guys know what a sonogram is?
Yeah.
And like an ultrasound where they
Or
can
an
actually
ultrasound.
see the fetus or the embryo, the growth of the animal. Yeah. And they do it with humans too.
So anyway, we sedated Sheba and we brought her into the veterinary clinic. And Dr. Davidson was looking at the sonogram and his face turned white. And I couldn't see the sonogram screen, but I could see Dr. Davidson, and I just said, what is it? And he just said, he had a mixture of awe and fear on his face, and I couldn't really quite tell if he was scared or excited. He called me over, and I looked at the sonogram, and if you would see a sonogram of a group of a wolf, what would you expect? A litter. You'd expect to see a bunch of little pups. There was just one thing, and it wasn't a baby wolf. Oh, what is that? What is that?
I'm hearing it.
Is that wrong?
Hopefully.
Anyway, it was one thing, and oh my god! Oh my god! And it had one paw. One paw? That's so weird! Wait. One paw. Oh my god. What is that? Oh my god. Anyway, Dr. Davidson said that he has been studying all his life. I bet you can expect what it is he's been studying. Werewolves. Oh my god, no! There's a lot of legends going around about werewolves, and people have all different...
They're so eerie, guys. Let's go in.
No, I'm not going.
Anyway.
What is that? Where is that coming from?
What is that? Don't tell. Okay. Anyway, Dr. Davidson started taking all kinds of notes because he was just thrilled that possibly he found a werewolf.
Oh my god. What was that?
He printed out the sonogram, he took all of his notes, and I left because he just was getting to where he didn't even want to talk to me anymore. Next day I came to work, and there were police everywhere at the zoo. Everywhere. And they started questioning me, where were you at 7 o'clock? What happened? Long story short, he's dead. The guy is dead, and there's this huge gash in his throat.
Oh,
The sonogram pictures are gone. Everything's gone, and Sheba had disappeared. I told the police what we had discovered the night before. I told her that Dr. Davidson had embarked upon his quest in life, and that he had discovered that yes, in fact, there are werewolves. In fact, he had shared with me that he truly believed that werewolves didn't necessarily happen to people just from a full moon. He said that there were times when they could be cloned. So he took a blood sample of Sheba's embryo, and this is before they killed him. He sent it off to a lab in London because they have the largest DNA database. This is, of course, all before he died. I'm telling the police this. They thought I was nuts. They wouldn't listen to anything that I said, and it kind of died down. All the talk about the werewolf. Everything about the werewolf just died down, and nobody would believe me, and Sheba eventually showed back up. Sheba eventually showed back up in the wolf pen. Just one night showed up. And then this creepy guy around January volunteered to work at the zoo. And he specifically wanted to work in the Arctic encounter.
Now this is a Toledo Zoo.
Okay, nobody go back to
This
the
is
zoo.
right, like
I'm not going to the zoo again. I'm not going to the zoo.
I'm not going. Okay, is this like recently? Was this summer? I can't remember.
Don't
No,
lean too far back. You don't know what's back.
This happened, the thing with Dr. Davidson happened last fall, but the creepy guy started working there in January. About
This year?
Why'd you hire him?
What kind of hair does he have? Is it greasy?
I didn't hire the guy, he just showed up.
Was he hairy?
Oh my god, Ellie!
But he could go near the wolf pen, and immediately when he got near them, they were like kittens. They just would roll over, they'd look at him, he could talk to them, he could look at them, and when their eyes connected, it was, you knew that they were communicating. But what was weird about this guy, you know, I think his name was Butch too, kind of like,
Oh my god.
I think his name was Butch.
Why is Bush familiar?
Wolf. Well, we called him that later, but
Why was Bush? Why was Bush
well, because of the headless motorcycle driver.
But you
The motor guy,
Butch or is it Jack?
it was Butch Jack.
Okay.
Is that like
You guys
wasn't Allie in
or
the tent.
Jack Butch,
Okay, JB. Or BJ.
whatever. Butch Jack. So anyway, 3 days a month, he would disappear. Just disappear. And we'd have to do all of his work. And then I started noticing that it was, that this phenomenon happened that 3 days a week he would disappear, then he'd come back. And when he came back, he had longer hair, he stunk, and he had, I swear to God, he had blood dripping off of the side of his mouth one time.
Oh, you can't go on with this story because it's too scary.
Well, let's
Well,
see, this
especially
is
because
blood.
it's true. That's why it's so scary.
We got, oh yeah. I started putting 2 and 2 together, and I said, there's something weird about Butch. They don't believe me about the werewolf. And I started thinking, is it possible that Butch is somehow related to Sheila? And then it occurred to me that nobody ever went into Dr. Davidson's office and looked in his computer files, and I went in there and I saw all the notes he had taken that night, and sure enough, his theory was that Sheba had been, a clone had been made from some DNA bank. I got the DNA back.
Okay.
Now here's what's scary. The DNA matched Jack the Ripper.
What? Who? Oh my God.
The DNA of the embryo inside Sheba,
Jack the Ripper, the guy from London who murdered all the women.
who murdered all the women. So what that meant is some crazy person who was trying to create man took one of the worst characters. Oh my God! Oh crap! I'm scared.
Oh my God!
I'm scared so bad.
I know what it was. I said I saw a shadow. I'm like,
I'm like, what's behind me? That was freaky. Okay, watch those tinky things. Lamp.
I'm like,
I guess she's scared. So anyway, here it is, August. Butch has disappeared 3 times in a row. All we know is that Dr. Davidson had figured out that the DNA inside Sheba, inside the baby wolf, matched Jack the Ripper. And here I have this crazy guy coming to the zoo once a month, talking to wolves, having blood dripping from his face. All I can say, you guys, is I think we got a werewolf in our midst. I mean, I think, oh my gosh, it just occurred to me. Dr. Davidson was killed because he figured it out. He knew that we had a werewolf, which means if anybody knows what really happened at the zoo, you're really in danger.
Oh my God.
Like you don't know. I mean, just don't talk about it.
I don't
talk
know.
about it.
I don't. I fell asleep.
What's that?
What is that?
What is that?
I don't know, but
No,
man, that radio is awesome.
what?
No, Allie, because he had it. Now he doesn't.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I think it's. I'll tell you.
Don't go! You guys don't! Yeah, it's right. Ready?
Stupid, you always scare everyone.
Oh!
Allie, they're taping.
Oh!
Well, that was a very. You shouldn't have done that. But that's okay. It might win you a
taping now or
job. You never
something?
can tell.
Allie's like, da-na-na-na-na. He's like, yeah.
Okay, now it's dark.
Mike?
Yep. Whoops.
Yeah, Ellie, just find your spot and stick
Yep. Sit down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
It's okay, but if something moves, I can close the shot. So it's all right.
And better, like I said, we're going to shoot a whole lot more than we're going to be needing.
Okay.
get that background sound too, Mike. That is so great. Listen.
I'll tell you what, I can't eliminate it, so you got it.
Yeah,
All
this is
right.
like toasty stuff. You get like a tan.
Okay.
What as you know, what I'm doing on the farm documentary is in an hour telling a history of. It started off what the farm means to me, but that includes.
Hang on one second. Are they too loud?
It's not that important that we talk about the details of the fun things that we do as much as we talk about the concept of traditions. So, what the farm meant to you and your daughter and her friends, how a tradition began. What, are you ready, Mike? Okay.
I think that just growing up here on the farm, no one could have anything as neat, as cool. I mean, until I grew up and became a mother, I did not realize that I grew up in paradise. And I wanted to, knowing that this property was being donated to the park system, I wanted Molly to have the same opportunities that I had growing up. And so I think it was about 5 years ago that we started this tradition of coming out here to the farm and camping out with all her girlfriends. And we just have continued it from year after year.
Let me back up. What did that, should you do that over?
No, oh no, that was fine.
Okay. So as part of that tradition, what did that involve?
It involved,
the tradition involved,
the tradition involved coming up with a story that they knew nothing about. Hopefully a scary, frightening story. And I did it with you, Kay. In fact, you were always the creative mind behind it. I was always the organizer behind it. The first year we did what we called Lady of the Lake, and we had you in a rowboat with dried ice coming across the lake as we were talking, as I was telling the story to the girls. And it was a long story about a woman who lost her lover because we had built this lake and removed them from their grave, and she was angry and came back year after year looking for her lover. And of course, the day that she comes back is the day that we're having the campfire. And you come floating across, and I had a tape in my pocket, and you were saying in your tape, or it was a walkie-talkie, you were saying, "Where is he? Where is he?" And of course, the girls heard your voice and they went nuts. They screamed, ran out to the dock, and then of course they realized it was a joke, dove in the water and tried to catch you. And then the next year, I think we had Butch, the headless motorcycle rider, who was coming back looking for his head. Grax came dressed up with a mask. We called him Mr. Geezer, and he was a really old, ugly man. And of course, we had those were part of this camp-out tradition. And of course, we had skinny dipping. That's just, part of it. I mean, you can't swim in this lake. It's a rule that you have to skinny dip in this lake. The only way you can swim in this lake is without a suit. So that was always part of it. Hot dogs, chips, s'mores here at the campfire every year. Same meal, same food, same treats.
And how long do you hope to do it?
How long do I hope to do it? Let's see. Well, we've done it 5 years. They're going into freshman year in high school now, and I know how freshmen in high school are, and they kind of get pretty independent, and maybe will want to do it on their own, but I would like to continue at least through high school.
So do you have a name for this tradition?
The annual campout. Molly's annual campout, I think is what we call it. Molly, do we call this the annual campout?
Yeah.
Molly's annual campout?
Just
the annual campout. And we've had some girls that have been here year after year after year, all 5 years, all friends from different walks of life. Swim team, a club that we belong to, school, and they all get along really well. And I do have some photographs that I've taken year after year after year too that we do down at the dock.
Say something like, we go swimming, sometimes we wear our bathing suits, because I don't want to say, you have to skinny dip.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Definitely a tradition is swimming. I mean, we throw our suits on or we throw them off. But we swim every year. We go canoeing, fishing. We did do that this year. We do fishing, not every year.
What were some of the traditions you had growing up?
Around here, around the farm? swimming in the pool. Oh, the 4th of July skinny dip.
But start it as a sentence.
Oh.
For me, a tradition.
Oh, for me, a tradition. Every 4th of July, we called the girls, our cousins around the farm, and we said, "Girls of the farm, unite." Those were the key words. We'd all meet down here at the dock, throw our suits off, and go skinny dipping and sing, "Happy 4th of July to you."
One for the public TV, and one for the family. Yeah, I mean, it's like those Anderson girls
One
taking
time,
their clothes off again.
remember the one time though? One time on the 4th of July when we were all down here, all in a row, we had already taken our suits off. We were running into the water, and all our male cousins had parked their cars behind us, and we didn't even know it. And when we took off running, they turned the lights on in the car, from their cars on us as we jumped in the lake. That was great.
Okay. All right. Well, because that's great, Beth.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need while you're here.
The house we had on the. So did you guys camp out as kids? 3.5 bags.
Not a lot.
Here, we had a big tradition of hot dogs in the woods on
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
That was a really big one. We didn't really. The hot dogs in the woods. I might get Mike or somebody else because I'm using different people to talk about it. But I don't really want to be on it.
Okay, we're rolling.
You gotta sit in the smoke.
Yeah.
Should I say the cameraman walked?
No, I wouldn't do that because we're not going to see that.
Oh, okay.
Because we don't have, it's not
Okay.
gonna make sense.
Just
But
the werewolf.
Talk about the werewolf night, the story of the werewolf.
Okay. Should I go now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, Kay, one of the best stories was the story we did this year. It was a werewolf. Well, you're the one that came up with it. It was a werewolf story. And it was so spur of the moment. Actually, as Molly and I were driving over here, I said I didn't have a story for this year, and she seemed so disappointed. But you came up with this story like that, and the kids were so scared. They were screaming. It was about a werewolf born in the Toledo Zoo, and Chris, my husband, Chris, he was in the background with what do you call it, tape recorder, and we had howling werewolves in the back, and the girls were screaming. They were going nuts.
That's good. That's good. That's how important you think
The farm?
traditions are.
Okay.
Not just the farm or traditions. Doesn't have to be real long, but just your philosophy or your take on building traditions and keeping them going, keeping family things going.
Mm-hmm.
For what teacher? What teacher was it? Heinzel? What do you want?
Oh, okay. I'm just, you know what? I'm getting the s'more shot here.
Okay.
It's going to be dark, but I think you're going to like it. Oh, hold it. Focus. Ready. Better sit down because her eye contact's going to be...
Thank you. It doesn't have to be a real upbeat, but what do you think it's important to keep traditions?
I do. I feel so blessed to be born in this family and to have been raised on this property. You and I and all my brothers and sisters, 10 of us, 11 in the family, I mean, we can come up with so many fun stories of all our years growing up. And now that I have a child, I want to share that with her. And what more is it in life than sharing what you enjoy most with your family? Our family is just, I mean, I just can't compare it to anything else. I feel so lucky to have been in this family and to have been born on this property.
Okay, good. Thank you, girls.
You're welcome.
You guys can do what you want now. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take them up to go to the bathroom.
Good idea.
Huh?
Oh my good.
All right.
Well, Aunt Kay has to
I have my temps.
take it.
Okay.